Hello, it's Leslie from Ageless Training Academy, your core connection. If you're more interested and you'd like more robust, longer episodes of what I film, then if you go to agelesstrainingacademy.com, that's where you can find a wealth of resources in body mechanics and movement. So I really recommend you go check us out. Plus, our courses are great. But this one's about training our fascia and really understanding a little bit about what fascia does. And this is why I've got just a TheraBand. We spend so much time in flexion. We're just in a flex position, sitting at our computers, driving, et cetera, et cetera. And then when the moment we go to lengthen our bodies, especially the front of the body, we might feel tightness, we might feel some discomfort. Well, if we look at our fascia really and truly transmits energy, but our muscles transmit force. So I might be pushing something away from me, like I'm trying to move, a couch, or I'm trying to do something like that. But then there's that recoil. And when our fascia becomes stuck, when it becomes dehydrated, it becomes knotted and twisted. And we might have, nerve issues. We have lack of mobility leading to lack of stability, etc. So as a trainer, I always look at how people move. And especially if you're one of those people that you're here and you're stuck in this posture, you're really stuck in your superficial front line, right? So learning how to open and stretch is so vital for you. Stop doing crunches. Stop tucking your glutes under and squeezing and tightening everything. Your body is going, please release me and let me move. As an equestrian, I watch horses run around in the field and their movement is effortless. It's joyful. They're not thinking about whether they need to tighten up their glutes. Yes, they have to learn how to use their hind end when carrying a rider. However, when we watch animals, cats, dogs, whatever, their movement is fluid, and they don't have this attachment to their bodies like we do, that we have to train for aesthetic versus function. We're probably the only creature that does that. So look at the front of your body this way. Again, looking at my TheraBand as an example. So if this is my front line of my fascia from the base of my neck all the way down to my big toe, as I flex forward, all of a sudden you're going to see how I start to have wrinkles in the TheraBand. The moment I stand up or I start to actually lean back a little bit, all of a sudden I have tautness in the tissue. I want that. It doesn't mean that we stay in a constant state of tautness. That's not great, but we do want to stay in a state of good posture. All right. And good posture is creating a conscious movement for a subconscious result. So if I'm always training in crunches and I'm flexed all the time, then my body's going to say, well, that's apparently where you want me, and I'm going to stay there, as opposed to extension and rotation. That spiral line that comes from the inner thighs, your adductors, and crosses over to the opposite shoulder is so important, because if we're going to throw a ball, once again, you've got that acceleration to deceleration. So I'm winding all this up in the front, in the lateral part of my body, so that I can do this. I can't do that if I've been squeezing my glutes in a bar class or something like that, and I'm going to be really dysfunctional. That posterior line from my heel basically up to the base of my neck, once again, if I'm in a good state of posture, I have a nice equal distribution of tension in the front and in the back. But what happens, once again, when I'm constantly in this forward flexed position, this back really kind of gets overstretched, and it's in a constant state of tautness. Our bodies are saying, please put me in equilibrium and balance. So this is what I want you to think of. Take a step back with your left foot. As you're in this position, just being here, you're in an extended position of your left hip. Therefore, the front body, by reaching the arms up, or even just your left arm, you will feel lengthening in the front of the body. There's no negotiating that. Same thing, if I reach forward with my left arm, I'm going to feel lengthening in that posterior line. Now, keeping in mind, I'm not doing this. I'm not in a flex position. So if I'm like this, I'm not really feeling anything. But when I ask you to think of hinging, then reaching forward, that's when magic starts to happen in the front of the back of the body. Same thing, holding your left foot behind, reaching the left arm up, laterally flex to your right. You're going to feel a nice big lengthening here, but now rotate to your left. What just happened here? We laterally flexed, we're extended, and we're rotating. Thoracic spine goes, thank you so very much. So if I'm stuck in this ever flex position all the time, always here, then at the end of the day, I can lengthen here and find magic in my body. So this is the challenge that we have as trainers, is our clients feel like they've got to be doing crunches and all that stuff all the time, not really realizing the damage that we're doing to our body. And at the end of the day, we're compressing our spine. So remember, think of lengthening, think of how your body feels, that low to explode feeling when you move. And that gives us a sense of what our fascial body is doing. Thank you for joining me. I hope this gives you a few little tips and techniques, knowing that we have the ability to change anytime we want to.